Well, today is an exciting day because I am now the proud owner of a vintage Fender amplifier. This is a 1972 Bandmaster Reverb TFL 5005D. This is a pretty sweet amp. All tube. It actually has like 9 tubes. Tube rectified, 2 6L6s, and then there is a preamp tube for each channel. There's a reverb send, reverb return. There's a tremolo preamp tube and a phase inverter. So this thing is just chock full of glass. Yeah, I got it. It's in full working condition. I had a little bit of a problem with the reverb, but what happened was one of the wires in the reverb tank actually came loose in the shipping. Which, you know, if you look at it, it was just this teeny tiny little wire, and so it kind of made sense. But, anyways, here she is. I've really just been playing it. Yesterday I was troubleshooting the reverb, got it figured out today. And so, yeah, just kind of been playing through it today, really enjoying it. It's always been a kind of something I've thought, you know what, I'd really like to own a vintage Fender amp sometime in my life. And, the day has come. These Bandmasters are a pretty dumb good deal. I mean, to be totally honest, for what you can get for one of these vintage silver-faced Bandmasters, I mean, you can hardly find as good of an amp at Guitar Center for the amount of money that you're going to spend on one of these bad boys. I mean, they are very relatively inexpensive, which I think is pretty neat. You can see there's all the tubes. The spray reverb unit, actually I'm going to mount that and put it back pretty soon, but yeah, it's a huge cabinet for just a head. By today's standards, I mean, things have gotten smaller and smaller. I know that's one of the differences between the standard Bandmaster and the Bandmaster Reverb, is the Reverb has a huge head, but the standard Bandmasters are a lot smaller. But these things are pretty underappreciated. But in terms of a circuit, the Bandmaster Reverb is basically a super reverb in a head format, and then I do believe it has a smaller output transformer. It will run at 4 ohms instead of 2, and then being a smaller output transformer will affect kind of the headroom and the power. Having a bigger output transformer is going to give you more headroom and more kind of oomph. But the price difference is pretty massive. But then when you really get down to it, these Bandmaster Reverbs are basically the same circuit. So, yeah, pretty sweet amp. I unfortunately don't have a mic, and I don't even actually have a proper cabinet. I'm kind of actually cheating a little bit because I have what's basically a greenback, a Mojotone 25 watt BV25M speaker, and that is not enough. The Bandmaster Reverb is a 45 watt amp, so it's not very smart to run this guy into this cabinet, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. Just for a day or two, I actually am going to trade this speaker for a higher wattage, something in the 50 watt range, just so it can handle this beast. I don't want to blow it up. But anyways, I've always wanted a vintage Fender amp, and here she is. My first reaction is that it's exactly on par with what I thought it would be. It's got fantastic cleans. I've really only played with it the volume in between 2 and 3. Let's see if this will even focus. So, yeah, volume on about 3. It actually has a mid knob, which is kind of cool. Which I experimented a little bit with in the video in the mid section. It kind of goes from very clean and lean to very kind of beefy, and then the bass and treble knobs are very impactful. So, but really, I like everything kind of at about, you know, treble 8, mid 7, bass about 6. The reverb is on about 3, and then I did not use the tremolo on this video just because I don't have the pedal installed. I'm probably not going to use the trem very much, to be totally honest. But it's a pretty sweet amp. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up as the introduction video. If you have any thoughts about some of these vintage amps, please leave them a comment down below. But I think they're really cool. And it just has always been a dream of mine to own a vintage Fender amp. And I think that the Bandmaster Reverb is the perfect way to get into this I guess, club. We'll see if that's what you want to call it. But very exciting stuff. So be prepared for more videos to come. I'm going to be comparing it to the Bandmaster and the Axe-Fx. I posted the Bandmaster Looper video. I'm going to be comparing the two very closely. But I've always just thought, you know what, I want to give it a try and just see what it's like to actually own a vintage Fender amp. So here she is. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.